Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe. And for you Rush fans, welcome to the 12th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Rest in peace, Neil Peart. This video coming at you on a Wednesday night for Trading Thursday. That is June 4th, 2020. I had to make sure that's the year. Please know this is a very risky game. If you don't know that it's a risky game, you should know that it's a risky game. Volatility is extreme. You can lose way more money than you had placed in your trading account. You can actually owe your broker a check when you get out of a position. If you're short futures, if you're short options, if you don't understand this game, and if you trade without placing stops first. So never do that. Place your stops first and you should be okay. For you traders that understand the risks, let's get moving. Again, this video is for trading on Thursday. That's the 4th of June. So, green OMNI on the board once again. OMNI, S&P, Nasdaq, and Russell. The indices are still bullish with the green OMNI, and I am going to continue to buy dips. But number 2 on the board will be slightly perplexing for tomorrow. Nasdaq is approaching a very, very long, big, widespread double top in both the weekly and daily charts. And you know, when we see a double top, we sell a double top. That's what we do. This double top is all by itself. S&P doesn't agree. Russell doesn't agree. The Dow doesn't agree. The transportation average doesn't agree. But Nasdaq's got that blaring double top coming in. You know what it is. We were at a certain high right before Corona hit, and then we had the big tumble. Well, we're back to that exact high almost. We're just a few points under it at the moment. So we're absolutely going to be bullish for the first part of the day. If we hit that spot in Nasdaq and stall, bullishness goes out the window, and likelihood is we get short for the double top. Then you've got gold, which is still falling away. OMNI's bearish gold. I don't blame it. I like the downside in gold. I like the upside in the OMNI S&P. And that's what we are going to do for trading on Thursday. I hope you'll be with me at livewithoscar.com. You can join me in my free trading room. It's a live trading room, and it's absolutely free to you. No nonsense, no credit cards. Come to livewithoscar.com and spend your life with me and my Omniacs, because that's what we do every day. So, right before we look at these cool charts, I want to remind you I am holding an OMNI camp at the end of this month of June. I am only inviting 3 students. We've got COVID rules in place. One of the rules about Las Vegas for COVID is only 50% occupancy. So where we would normally put 6 students, I'm only putting 3. I will hand choose you. You must be in driving distance of Las Vegas. That doesn't just mean California. Last OMNI camp, a guy drove in from Kentucky. You can drive all the way from New York City if you want, but you got to drive, no flying. And there'll be 3 of us, and we will have a rocking 5-day extravaganza together. I'm inviting you to my home office. It is my home office, my personal office. That's why only 3 of you are coming. I've got a wife and children, you know. But 3 of you will be allowed. We'll take your temperature at the door. You'll be wearing masks. The whole thing is great. It is ready for COVID, and it's ready for you. But again, I'm only allowing 3 of you out. Fill out your OMNI Camp applications today. In fact, just today, earlier today, I started calling back some of the applicants. I want to speak to all of you first before I choose the 3. So make sure you fill out your OMNI Camp applications. I will call you on the phone to qualify you for an OMNI Camp at the end of this month. It is a 5-day seminar held live in my private personal office with me and you. Make sure you fill out your applications. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Traders, Nasdaq daily chart. Love it. Still inside the channel, looking fantastic, just booming its way back up. This is where we were right before COVID struck, when we made all-time highs in the Nasdaq. COVID smashed us down for May. We came back up in April, and we are just about at that spot again. Now, we do know when we see a double top, we sell a double top. The daily's got one coming up. But let's just keep looking at this chart. What I like about it the most is it's way above the 200 bar moving average and is propelling the S&P and the Russell to do the same. S&P made it above just last week and is continuing on this week. You got to love that chart. And the Russell is chugga, 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 baby. The little train that could. It's almost there now. Nasdaq doing its job, pulling up the S&P, pulling up the Russell above the 200. More of the same should happen on Thursday. But then we go back to that Nasdaq. Now we're looking at the weekly. This is a double top. This should absolutely be sold. The difference in price is on the weekly. That's the high of this bar. But on your daily, you're looking at 97.80, a little bit higher to reach the double top on the daily. So they marked the weekly with the high of 97.63, but the actual high on the daily was 97.80, which is where the double top will show up on the daily chart. Here's where your double top shows up on the weekly chart. If we hit this double top and start to fail, the downside is coming our way. Now we know when we see a double top, we blindly sell it. Of course, I'm here to tell you that not 100% of the double tops you sell into work. My experience, absolutely from what I've seen, you are looking at 85 to 90% of any double top I've ever seen on a weekly working out. So, that's a double top on the weekly. Our plan is to get long S&P for Thursday. Let it run up. This is over 100 points higher in Nasdaq. Once it gets up there, we'll see what's going to happen. But when we see a double top, we do sell a double top, kids. Stay tuned. Then you've got gold. Gold is falling apart, fell out of the ascending wedge, broke down severely on Wednesday. We are looking for more downside on Thursday, and you bested, or broke, I should say, the 50-bar moving average. Let's make sure that we don't end up long gold here, right? We don't want to be long gold. If you're going to trade gold at all, at least take it from the short side with the red Omni. All right, traders, that's about it for now. We'll finish this video and get back to work. Okay, traders, you've seen the charts. Now remember, as this thing is going up, the market is always right. Rule number one. Rule number two, if you think the market's wrong, please refer to rule number one. That's the way this works. So if you're hemming and hawing, oh, the Fed intervened, the market's fake, you're crazy. There's something wrong with you. Do you know why? If you're going to stand there and think, because you came up with some stupid notion that the top is in, meanwhile, the market proves that that is not correct at this moment in time while I'm speaking to you, because it keeps going up. Goldman Sachs thinks it's going up. The street thinks it's going up. The Omni's been thinking it's going up. What would make you think that the top is in just because you came up with some notion? Why don't you use the charts in front of your eyes? Why don't you use what the street is doing and follow the smart money before you just come to my trading room and go, that's it, the top's in for the 27th time in the last year. You know what I'm saying? You guys do it all the time. Now, my trading room is full of cool people, but some of you guys do drive-bys. It's always the same. That's it. America's over. Economically, it's going to explode. That's it. The top is in. America's going to be worse than Japan. We hear the nonsense night after night, dip after dip. What I'm here to tell you, since I started in the business, I watched 1987 savings and loans debacle. The market went down. Guess where we ended up? Recovered. Then, what happened? 1999, we had the dot-com bubble. The market crashed. What happened? We recovered. Then we had the 2001 September 11th attacks. What happened? The market recovered. 2008, the biggest crash anyone ever seen, even bigger than 1929. What happened? We recovered. Then Brexit came around. What happened? We recovered. Greece before Brexit. What happened? We recovered. Now we've got Corona. What is happening? We're recovering. Where on earth do you guys get off thinking that the top is in all the time? You know what I'm saying? All it does is recover from these disasters until it stops recovering and becomes Japan. Don't always call for the top. You know, it makes you guys look really stupid after a while. You know what I'm saying? Call what you see. What I see is it's bullish till we get to that double top. Maybe it'll blow right through, maybe it won't, and then possibly we change opinions. But I don't call the top every time we have one down day, and nor should you. One last thing I wanted to mention. Nice to see the riots are dying down, and thank you for getting people to make sure that George Floyd, we know what happened to him. Hopefully it'll never happen again. One cop's been arrested. The other 3 are going down too. You know they're going to jail forever. Why don't we turn our attention now, while we're out in the streets and we're chanting for something, why don't we turn our attention to these poor people in Hong Kong, like I mentioned earlier in videos? Why is it that even in Europe, everyone's chanting for one guy, George Floyd? Love that. That's great, but we've done that. How come we watch 300 kids a day get yanked out of Hong Kong, brought to China, no one ever sees them again, and we don't say a word about that? Why are we not protesting for Hong Kong to help them start their revolution and get away from China, because they're not going to do Hong Kong any good at all whatsoever? They are not looking to do the U.S. any good. They're looking to do Europe harm. They're looking to do the U.S. harm. They've done harm in Africa. They're harming Australia. People, we need to wake up. Best thing we could do is help kickstart the revolution in Hong Kong by doing what we're doing right now for George Floyd. Word has been heard about George Floyd. How about we make word get heard for Hong Kong, right? Come on, people. Help the citizens of Hong Kong. It's the only way we can slow China down, and they deserve to be slowed down for what they do. Let's move forward. I know it's all about markets, but hey, if you're going to march, let's march for a bigger cause now that we've got George taken care of. All right, traders, I will see you all at liveoscar.com. Try to keep your emotions out of trading. I don't care who's marching on the streets. When you trade, put stops in, plan a trade, trade the plan, and that's it. We don't let emotions get involved. One of the best things you can do to keep those emotions at bay, and I know that's not easy, but try this. Say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Traders, if you don't mind, watch this quick clip and see what the Omniacs said about the last OmniCamp.
My expectations when I came here were to help me achieve more consistency and provide me with a more simple approach to trading futures. And that's exactly what Oscar has been able to provide in the camp.
I did not expect to learn everything I learned in just a few days and as quickly as I did. So it just shows how good Oscar's system is.
I just wanted to do it right without making the same learning mistakes that are so expensive and so costly from the best. And he is the best.
I used to play golf, so he's like the Tiger Woods of golf, is the analogy I would use.
A lot of these other people that say they're the best, and they say they're good. And you see what they're doing, and it's a one-trick pony would be the way we deem it. It only works in this setup and in this occasion. Oscar is honest charting. He goes through the charts, and you can play it in any market. And you're going to be right most of the time. Way more often than not.
It really does feel personal, and you can clearly see that, you know, through all the things that Oscar's done and does, he's got a genuine interest in helping people to get better.
I've been through, you know, people sell indicators and sell you products, and you know, you try them out, you spend this money, and they just don't work. So, but I didn't realize how exact and precise his system was. And it takes all the burden and stress out of your trading once you get it down. And that's what he makes sure before you leave the camp, that you understand the system and that you're using it properly.
So whilst it seems simple, you know, oftentimes the simplest things are actually the hardest things to come up with. And so Oscar's certainly been able to narrow down to something that is simple, that he can teach people, and that people can actually go away and implement, right? Everything that you learn here is stuff that you walk away thinking, yep, I understand it, I've got a good handle on the approach, the techniques, and it's easy enough for you to remember the majority of the things that you've learned because of the way that he teaches in such a simplistic manner. So you walk away feeling very satisfied that you can tomorrow, even as soon as tomorrow, go away and implement the things that you've been taught.
I was extremely nervous to come out here, extremely. So now that a lot of those things have been alleviated, I can't ask for anything more. This was great.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, I would recommend people to come on this course if you're fortunate enough to be selected, because, you know, not everyone gets in. So for that, I'm grateful that I was allowed to really come here.
Past performance is not indicative of future results. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.